Webcast. We are live on YouTube and simulcasted on Facebook Live at the same time. I'll have both chat rooms open, being taking questions from both sides, as well as being taking callers. So I want to welcome everyone to Living the Mystical Life Daily Webcast. We are here to learn different expressions, different frequencies, different styles of understanding. So today's live webcast, I'm going to be showing you how to consciously apply the sacred art of living the mystical life daily as an out loud name and claim it system without giving away your power. I'm also going to be answering your questions. So if you have any questions, go through and please put them in the chat room on Facebook Live as well as on YouTube or in the members section at the website. So now for a lot of you, this is not your first webcast. The first thing I want to mention is that sacred discipline, sacred processing, taking time and energy out of your day, week, month, and year is your duty. Now, for those of you who have been around for these webcasts, I think it's our 15th webcast now. You also have your process. You'll be learning deeper forms of understanding out here. And understanding that whatever process is out there that is limiting you, we're trying to help you take away the confusion. Many times the information can overload you or keep you from your form of success. This is why Living the Mystical Life Daily is about bringing people to unity with themselves, to stop the global infrastructure of distraction that's out there from taking away the sacred moments. Many times that information that overloads you is what is literally keeping you from success. And I know I've been guilty of that myself. Too much large information where people aren't able to integrate it fast enough. So we have developed a course, Living the Mystical Life Daily online course. That is what this is about. These webcasts is to talk about the Living the Mystical Life Daily online course. And what we're doing now is giving away free teachings with that. When you sign up at the website, you'll get 3 teachings. The Advanced Heart Meditation, the Shaman's Death, as well as the Sanctuary for All Souls. That is a video that teaches everyone that comes with a PDF, and that PDF is going to assist you at the out loud name it to claim it system. Just one second, I'm having screen overload, too much going on in my view. So sometimes as a presenter you can only take so much information coming at you. Now, we've all had concerns in the past why we don't succeed. No matter what it is, water polo or hypnosis, you must practice at it. And I'm here to help put people's fears to rest about what spiritual practice is. The first thing to understand, spiritual practice is your choice to learn with your inner genius engaged and not your part-time slave job mind engaged. So many people go off to the slave job or go off to the business that they own and they don't find any form of happiness there. They're always transmuting other people's energy and coming home with a garbage or tons of other people's energy, and they're unable to let it go. Or when they do want to go and do meditation, all of this other stuff is in their frequencies. So this is where you need the right person to explain it. And I know others have told you that you need to go to India or live in a monastery or travel to the ends of the earth to find spiritual enlightenment and become your own self-illuminated master. Okay, that's their point of view, not yours. And the first thing is stop taking on the point of view of others. Take on your own self-discerning point of view. Other people have their reasons. We live in a placebo-based reality, meaning what you believe in is your truth. In the other webcasts, I talk about expectations create your limitations. It's not about what you think, it's about what you believe, and we do not live in a duality. Those 3 processes are their own inner contemplation, retrospection, and introspection for you to discover on your own. That truly is the alone journey of the spiritual side, the self-discerning. It is not where you can share your inner companionship. Human beings are meant to go through their own inner process. Okay? We all have that inner part of us, the shadow or the ego, that is trying to control our reality for some reason, whether it's karmic interaction. Whatever it is, the out loud name it to claim it system is about taking the power back, claiming it, the name it to claim it system. For once you understand its frequency and you create the counter frequency, you have claimed back that energy. And those energies of our programs that oftentimes are us from a young age, it's enforcing things into our ancient future. I will be pouty when this happens. I will never be able to have money because my parents were broke when I was young, or my parents were mega rich and never taught me about money. All of those are processes that create programs that have quite a bit of our power behind them. This is why the name it to claim it system isn't snap of a finger and you're an illuminated master. That's instant gratification. And as long as you're following instant gratification, no matter what spiritual practice you're following, you will be stuck in mediocrity. And every other teacher out there will tell you the same thing if they're worth their weight in salt. Only you can gauge the material. There's infinite amounts of material to find the unlimited point of view that is your signature frequency match for you here today. Now, I know a lot of you have a dream to change the world and to make an impact. I want to show you that you can make it happen during this webcast. My goal for this webcast is to help two types of people. For those of you who are beginners, you'll learn what it takes to have conscious application of the sacred and what it really means to daily life changes. For those of you who are more experienced with my teachings, you will learn more, have a more in-depth understanding of the ability to see old shells, limitations, perception, deception filters, as well as our Inception filters. The Inception filters is a new terminology that I have brought up. I have rarely used it in other shows because it is hard for people just to understand what a perception deception filter is, let alone to see their own shells and limitations that have been in their life for many hundreds of weeks, days, months, or even years in some cases. Gambling is an example that is passed on from soul to soul to soul. Is it a soul sickness? No, it is a process in which that individual being is engaging chance, which is not chance. It is Great Mystery's plan. And if one is in alignment with Great Mystery's plan, you will have moments of synchronicity that create the mystical expression. And games of chance are one of those, again, age-old scenarios where souls can figure out how to hack the matrix, how to hack the hologram at that. That is what living the mystical life daily. It's hacking your own hologram through the sacred neutral process of deprogramming our earlier versions of ourself through conscious application of the sacred so that we're replacing them with sacred discipline to say, I am here to have mystical experience. I know that in my knowingness is the base of experience. And I know that I cannot engage instant gratification. I can only engage my knowingness. Knowingness comes with discipline of practice. And the advanced heart meditation, for those who have practiced it, there's a section in there where you're imprinting into the marrow of your blood. I will have mystical experiences that I can wake up from and have full recall, be able to speak to my guides and guardians, take this information and process it, and it shall not damage but enlighten me. There's also additional flows that can be added there for healing, nurturing, family members, so on and so forth. This is literally the point of the hacking of the matrix or hacking of the DNA body by imprinting into your blood or marrow that is produced every 56 days. There are other parts of the body that you can hack the matrix, hack the body with. But we have our perception deception filters here. So many people see the world through the world's eyes, which is as observers that are saying to me, there's this TV studio here with Robert in the background, the television, all the cameras, everything going here to there and everywhere, and me sitting here, and all of you over there looking at your computer, but each and every one of you seeing something completely different. No two people see the same thing. No two perception deception filters are the same thing. And no two inception filters are the same thing. Time is perception-based. All deception filters are perception-based at that. They are a frequency that allows perception to color the light or refract the light into a form of understanding the mind can understand right away. The mind is broken up into many different compartments. Those compartments allow aha moments, allow depression, regression, obsession. They allow inspiration, communication, and mystical experiences. At times, one compartment wants to be very active and wants to engage the sympathetic and parasympathetic. And this is where older versions of ourselves come out in old shells that come back, where we may have been fully engaged as a spirit person or lost to alcoholism back during that era. When we draw upon that era, we also draw upon the dirty energy of that time, because the memory or that frequency in which that program was creating during the time of pollution. Living the Mystical Life Daily is about discovering how we bring pollution from previous frequencies of time into our now time. That is called the shaman's death daily. And when you engage the shaman's death daily, you begin to learn to identify the old shells that prevent self-healing and self-nurturing. For that is the greatest work on the path to the seeking of knowledge that one can do, is in the self-healing and the self-nurturing. It is the greatest thing that one can do for themselves to heal this earth. Each and every person has a vested interest here. Vested in what? Yourselves. Living the Mystical Life Daily is about creating self-illuminated masters. Meaning you have your own process of going, I can learn, I can self-discern. And in the first 3 videos in the sequence that you get as part of the Living the Mystical Life Daily is the Advanced Heart Meditation, the Shaman's Death, and the Sanctuary for All Souls. These are called meditation teachings. They are created by design for you to record in your own voice. In the beginning, I have the videos that are there so you can go through a meditation just like everyone else does meditations. This is where Living the Mystical Life Daily changes, and no one else in the industry is doing this, teaching this form of self-illumination. Once you take my voice out of it, and you then read the document for what it is your words. Are you emanating the words, or are you emulating the words? For there will be a future you who's in a meditative position, in full discernment, listening to your own voice. Now, a lot of you are cringing out there. I can't do it. I can't listen to my voice. When I was in 5th grade reading class, my teacher insulted me. I have dyslexia. I hate reading in front of people. I never read. Get over it. Suck it up, buttercup. You truly want to engage yourself. It is this voice that has changed everything since the dawn of voice itself. Get this. When you were just a handful of cells creating a heart, and before a brain was created, when you're just a heart, the second organ that's created after the heart is the tongue. The tongue. That is how we speak. That is how we talk. And that is how this heart space makes emanation equations through voice. That is spiritual alchemy. Voice is singing. Voice is words. Voice is written. I have given written voice, which is by intention for you to read and practice until such a time you add your own words to it. Hundreds of words, thousands of words, for it'll be your gift as a legacy to yourself to be reading these out in fullness of power. So when you are in a meditative position, are you now understanding the essence of the message and amplifying the essence of the message, for you have learned what's within it? That the mystical experiences have given you confirmation, affirmation through your self-discernment to have inner core frequencies to say, I'm ready to engage my Living the Mystical Life Daily, for this is my new level of nurturing through my self-discernment. Now in the Living the Mystical Life Daily online course, there are 8 full meditation teachings and another 27 out loud name it to claim it processes that are about peacemakers and peacekeepers. How to use our dream frequency to stop negative projections of others as a building a border, wall, rules, policies, and procedures in your unseen world, so spirits in any frequency, time stream, galaxy, or universe cannot interfunction with you as an I am presence, insert energy into your field, take it out. That includes this system of domination and control. We can hack the unseen world. We can live in between the walls of the Matrix, just like in the Matrix movie. We have to understand our perception of it. When you begin to fortify your reality with an out loud name it to claim it system using the peacemaker, there's another set of teachings that come forward that use a more indigenous expression animal medicines, such as the spider, the grandmother spider, the weaver of the threads of the dream weave, the dragonfly, the butterfly, the whale, the fox, the trees. All of those have an expression to teach us how to go forward in life with different aspects of what we want to learn. Now, the whales is about teaching of unconditional love. Now, I've had a number of people in my private sessions after the course that have asked me to engage the whale frequency at a new level. And I read the whale in another live show. And what we do now is we have them listen to live whale music, or not live, whale music that's recorded that has no music behind it, just the music, at the roughly the same volume of their voice. And then they begin to have this mystical experience where the whale songs interact with their voice, synchronistically on their own. And that whale teaching is to pass on the essence of whale medicine as a teacher for you, if you should engage it through the medium of words and the out loud name it to claim it process. We also have this for fox and turtle as a human being. So we encourage you to go and sign up for Living the Mystical Life daily online course. It is a 6-week course, and for $997, you will also get 2 free tickets to come to the live event, which is October 5th through 8th, 2017. We have people coming from all over the world. We're going to be having some special guests from some very special parts of the place giving unique speeches so you can understand the next level of living the mystical life daily. Whether you're a beginner or the most advanced out there, you'll be learning the application of these techniques in a group format for a 4-day intensive process. You're going to get in-depth questions with me, as well as the ability to learn a whole new set of ways of using what I call the spiritual triathlon. For the second and third day of the live event, you will be going through this spiritual triathlon, which is how much power and frequency can I create in a single day? Am I ready to push my own inner envelope without the worry that a pushback that I might get sick? This out loud name it to claim it system is getting the passion spark going. And the first 2 days will be about engaging that passion spark to make that fire within you, to make that peacekeeper frequency at the next level. Okay? So every human being can do this. Even people that only read via Braille, because they read it in their mind. Okay? Reading it in your mind is also important. For there'll be a person who's the meditation process listening to your own recorded voice. Our mind can duplicate exactly what we hear, and that's called entrainment. Binaural beats is entrainment. There's all sorts of science on entrainment. Now contemplate this. Your own voice, listening and creating in your own mind your own voice. The sacred teachings and disciplines of how to program your blood to have mystical experiences, how to clear out the pericardium so time does not affect you and create wounds, how to clear out the heart chakra itself to bring in a more pureness of light, and the beginning of basic blood-borne DNA surgery, which is activating the DNA strings in each and every blood cycle, learning about our spiritual pheromones in the unseen world that are a part of our blood because our blood is still a part of our aura. In the shaman's death, you learn about the blood of Earth Mother, the red coral, for it teaches us how to nurture ourselves. Okay? I encourage people to sign up for the free videos, or if you want to come to the live events, go ahead and purchase the course and you'll get 2 free tickets. The alchemy course, the solstice and the equinox course, all for $997. That's like 25 hours of teachings. Now, let me move on to this part here. Now, people that are new to me, when I was 9 years old is where I began my experience into multidimensional living. And when I mean multidimensional living, I could fall asleep here and wake up somewhere else. Process that. As a human being, I learned to perceive time, not as falling asleep anymore. As living here right now, I can allow my mind to exist and coexist in other places. It is how I read the Akashic record. And what Living the Mystical Life Daily online course is, a blueprint for you to begin that process of building the spiritual muscles of frequency, harmony, as well as vibration within. For it will be in the signature frequency teachings of your own self, emanation versus emulation. Am I copying what others are doing, or have I truly learned the message and truly emanating heart-spaced awareness when practicing any discipline so the fullness of your spirit, or placebo, is activated? Okay? That is what happened to me, day by day, week by week, year by year, until I accepted it for it was and began not to accept what was being imprinted upon me with this reality. Living the Mystical Life Daily is about you learning your own daily deprogramming process. And know that we have programs that are deep-seated and, again, cannot be removed in an instant flash. They need time, effort, energy, and self-healing and self-nurturing on a different way. Okay? I know a lot of you out there want to become healers, teachers, speakers, on-air psychics, gurus, but without sacred discipline, you will go no further. For sacred discipline applies to whatever you do, whether it's being a homemaker, college student, business leader, healer, wherever you may be in your life journey. Traditionally, you'd have to isolate yourself in caves and monasteries and go celibate and then learn how to apply that all. In our modern world, it is hard to or impossible to be the urban or suburban shaman without heinous projections from those that are around you. The ancient rituals are hard to do even in the quietness of the 5-acre properties that people live on because they're so afraid. This is where you have to use that sacred discipline to say, I cannot accept the projections of others. I am engaging the joyful, mystical frequency so I can do my practice. If you are already at the stage where you cannot even allow it in your home, you aren't ready for practice then. Until such a time as you clear the program that says, I must worry about what others think. If you are truly in a situation where you would be burnt at the cross for having an outdoor fire, then there's where you need to consider, why am I living here? Why can I not practice that? Why do they have that power over me? And what can I do in the privacy of my home to begin to claim my energy back and say, no, they can no longer do that? Okay? It is in this era where we blend all the teachings as an a la carte system of whatever works in the moment. That is how you bypass a static system that does not allow dynamic people to create their own self-change. Every day is an opportunity to choose to live the mystical life daily. The power of choice is great and grand, and your legacy to yourself. It is your mantle of self-responsibility to use your awareness syncopated with your present. This blueprint makes it easier because it will change your perspective and give you a fresh point of view on how you can perceive your reality as an unlimited point of view. Now I want to go and take the first caller. Ooh.
Let's see. First caller will be Eleanor from Barbados.
Barbados, are you there? Hello, Barbados.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, and your name?
Hi, my name is Timothy Bain. I'm Eleanor's younger brother.
Hello, Timothy. How you doing today?
Very well, Andrew. How are you?
Doing great today. What kind of questions do you have for living the mystical life daily?
Okay, so I'm what you would call a beginner in your teaching, so I'm now getting started. But I basically would like to know what I can do to live in accordance with my higher self and if I'm on the right track at the current moment, you know?
Okay, what year were you born?
I was born in 1995.
All right, just give me a second to tune into you. All right,
Sure.
so there's a lot of upper frequency distortions in your field. So whatever you're doing in your higher education, there is something that's a distortion there, maybe a crappy teacher that you need to let go of. Is there a teacher you really have not liked?
respect to
Educate.
school education.
Yeah.
I've had a couple.
I would
But
do a personal ritual to let go of them, like
okay.
an actual cutting the cord serum. And in fact, it would probably be a really good idea for you to look at all of your teachers in your lifetime
Okay.
and to cut cords with all of them. And if they're true teachers, those cords will synchronistically reconnect via Great Mysteries plan. And make it
Right.
a really thorough disconnecting of the old teachers, because you are a self-taught, self-illuminated being, and you are innately a genius. And what's been
Mm-hmm.
blocking you out is other people have been dumbed down so much that you've had to lower your intelligence quotient around them.
Right.
And that kind of sucks when you have to lower your intelligence quotient. I had
Yeah.
to figure out how to maintain my emotional intelligence, my intelligence quotients, and my ability to recall the Akashic record of 25,000 worlds simultaneously, which is really
Mm-hmm.
quite easy. The hard part was me not having worry about what others said, me letting go of the
Right.
projections that were there. And with you, metaphorically, it's the same process. You need to have your
Yeah.
genius forward and not give a shit if it scares everyone. That's their fault if it does.
Yeah.
Okay?
I guess I've had a lot of problems in my life with caring a lot what other people think of me, So I
Right.
guess that's my biggest barrier to try and get over.
And why do you care what they think?
I don't know. I guess I've just been I programmed that way from young. I don't know.
There you go.
Been always my
Program
belief,
way that from young. And
Yeah.
now this is where your discipline of being a genius can unravel that house of cards. It is just logic. And I would consider it like building, you have a city that has, let's say, one street and one stoplight through it. And that is your way of thinking. And you need to build, a bridge around it, a canal, something
Mm-hmm.
that makes it more than one street with one light. A
Mm-hmm.
10-lane highway of practice to and
Mm-hmm.
from, a mental information superhighway
Right.
where one lane is for the mediocre people who don't engage their own intelligence. Another's the
Mm-hmm.
fast lane, which you like to be in, which is mine fast lane. And then the other
Yeah.
one's the bus lane, meaning you're hauling all sorts of information with you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
break it down into those forms of practice, meaning, all right, so I'm in the slow lane, and then, so whenever you're in traffic is where you can go.
Mm-hmm.
I've got, the person in front of me that's doing, 35 on the 50. And instead of getting
Right.
frustrated, say, this is my slowing of my frequency with full access to my ingenious, so I can deal
Mm-hmm.
with people who are slower frequency, slower
Right.
waveforms, without
Right.
judging them. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we want to go into the fast lane, this is where it's, if they're not a genius, screw them. Sorry,
Forget
you got
about
the
it.
right. This is where you
Yeah.
got to let go. And it'll be
Right.
about the level of joy and frequency you have
Mm-hmm.
and how much
I guess that's
personal engagement to that joy and frequency. Now,
yeah. I guess that's the biggest barrier.
has there been a breakup in with a girlfriend?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Recently,
How long?
maybe last year, May, June, but it's still affecting me.
Well, yeah, it is a lot. That's why I brought it up. So,
Yeah.
how long do you have left in school before you graduate?
I graduate in December.
Oh, okay. And what are you working on?
I'm studying civil engineering,
Civil
but
engineering.
I'm really interested in renewable energy.
Okay. Just give me a second to process here. So,
Sure.
I think something you have to understand for your own personal healing, separate of the cord cutting to the teachers, is that
Mm-hmm.
you did love her and she did love you back. And whatever the reason the
Mm-hmm.
breakup was, it
Mm-hmm.
was to free you. Okay?
Right.
So there would have
But
inevitably come a time like you would have been repelled by each other. That's the
yeah.
alls I can say is you would have eventually been repelled by each other. And you got to begin to heal the heart tear of the repelling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the advanced heart meditation will begin to help you do that. For it's the pericardium, that is the sac around the heart that holds water, that assist the heart dealing with wounds from time. And that's what you have right now, a wound that takes time to heal. As you begin to change your point of view and say, I know I can engage my sacred genius, whether I'm studying at college or doing my own mystical process. Now, I also think that it's time for you to do some really advanced consciousness exploring. And this will be where you take, you find 24, 36 hours where you have nothing that's going to interfere with you, and you go on longer term guided meditations where you create an experience where you've put your genius in and say, I'm observing the star of our solar system. I bring my mind into it. I go from the star, our star, back to the star inside our world. I experience Earth, and begin to allow yourself to explore through your own writing that you will literally record as a guided meditation that could be 2, 3, 4, 5 hours long, where then you will be listening, using your discipline, engaging your own words to say, I'm going on a trip. Okay? And you can engage your own medicines for that process too.
Right.
And we're talking some serious alchemy there. That means all you really need to do is prepare the room, make it fortified safety, using the contract revocations, and read it out to the environment so you can go on your sacred medicine journey in the comfort of your own home or somewhere else where you have the comfort level that works for you.
Right. Okay.
Now,
well,
as for girlfriend, there is some sexual issues here where she has dumped on you. Now, were you aware that she had some form of abuse?
No, I was never aware of that.
Now, it wasn't direct sexual abuse. It was astral sexual abuse. Now, men and women between ages 4 and 14 and sometimes 18 can have some very negative spirits who are living, who will be prey and predators to young beings and engage them in astral sex. That is what happened to your ex. And she's still reeling and dealing with that. So when she was engaging with you, she had these flood of old emotions from something she didn't really know that were opposite of you, because this ancient being from a long time ago inserted into her a pheromone that ultimately rejects men that she begins to fall in love with. It's like a skunk scent that rejects her from you, and it's her own scent. And that is the tear in your heart. And the sexual distortion that she left on you is you won't find the right mate. This is how this entity could jump to you. So it would be a very good idea to find a big thing of sage, sit yourself on like a garden chair that has an open bottom that's like a mesh screen, and hold a towel over you and put the sage on the ground or in a little bucket or a little bowl that's down there, so it starts holding large volumes of smoke under you, and see this as yourself as breathing in through your lower chakras this sage smoke for about 10, 15, 20 minutes. And you can see this as a divine masculine cleansing ceremony where you're going to want the phallus to push out the old energies of all the sexual distortions that you've gone through or have had to see. Now, sometimes growing up, there's certain pornography that you cannot unsee, all right? You can energetically unsee it with this type of ritual. Okay? And that's something you may want to do once a week for your own personal process so that you can prepare yourself for the new signature frequency of woman who will come, but right now is just waiting for you to begin your spiritual journey, your spiritual discipline. Because in my view, what is right for you is going to be a person who's already engaged that themselves. Okay? And why would you take a dumbed down person that is not choosing to engage their discipline, who is always going to be in the slow lane?
It's true.
Okay?
Very true.
Okay? Now, sometimes you'll go and meet another genius in college, but they're not in the spiritual fast lane. You're kind of choosing to be in the mind fast lane and the spiritual fast lane. So you got to
Right.
figure out what I'll call the HOV lane, where you can take a partner and get on the high occupancy vehicle lane and legally have mind and spirit begin to have synchronistic crossovers. And that'll be another process for you to learn and create for yourself of what does it take for me to build the infrastructure in my mind so spirit and genius mind of learning can interact without risks.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other
All right.
questions?
Maybe just so like, I know you're just talking about what I would look for in the future, but is there? I don't really want to maybe how you say this, predict my future, but is there anything on the horizon with respect to a new relationship?
There's always going to be Mrs. Right Now
Mm-hmm.
or Miss Right Now.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a missed future now? I don't even think you know what a missed future now is,
Right.
because you don't know what it is that you're going to be on the other side of your journeying.
Very true.
So you're still looking for the signature frequency moment of the now. So it's about
Mm-hmm.
you being aware in the now, and it's saying I'm not going to put my goals up to the supermodel level every time, because I'll never see what's there right in front of me. And I would say you have met dozens, if not scores, of women that have their own consciousness experience, and they just haven't talked about it with you. And you're not sexually attracted to them because they weren't in your game of strategy, because whatever previous view you had of women kept a bar so high of everything about them that you couldn't perceive the other people as potential of signature frequency moment of the now, what I need as an a la carte system so that I can empower myself. And it's not about shooting machine gun game everywhere and dropping lines on everyone. It's not. It's lowering our bars so our perception does not limit us through a deception filter by saying it can only be this view.
Right.
Okay?
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay? And and it's not shape and size, it's spirit. Okay?
That's right.
And allowing yourself to achieve that idea and that concept and make it an emanation. And as soon as it's an emanation out of you and not an emulation, they're going to appear everywhere, and you're going to be beating them off with a stick.
Yeah.
And you'll be calling your sister going, help.
Oh shit.
Okay?
All right, Andrew. Well, I really appreciate everything.
You're welcome.
Thank you
I
so
got
much.
one more thing for you. You're heading back
Right,
to
okay.
college. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes you have to balance life between going out and having fun and partying and doing college.
Mm-hmm.
Was the beginning of your college a lot of partying?
It was at first, yeah.
When did you stop partying?
Towards the end of my second year. It's a 4-year course, so yeah,
Okay.
more in my third year, I kind of stopped as much,
All right. So, and now how much are you doing?
Not as much. I've kind of stopped drinking, cut out drinking. I'm past that stage of poison in my body,
Okay.
with the binge drinking and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
college
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I know how
Yeah.
college is. So it's okay to drink, and if you don't want to drink, it's okay also. I would say to you that you are in a need for controlling and creating your own food. It's important for you. Sometimes as the college bachelor life, it's really easy to, feed yourself on crap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And then sometimes, the food they have at college is, not that good either.
Right.
You gotta at least try to cook your home comfort food once a week for yourself. Okay?
Right.
Just
Okay.
figure out how to do it. Okay?
Yeah.
And then make
Cheers,
it a
man.
discipline. And make it
Mhm.
healing food. Make it nourishing food for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That is the path to begin to live your mystical life daily. So it'd be a good idea to use the heart in the 3 videos that you get for signing up. Use the heart meditation, the sanctuary for all souls, and the shaman's death. You do one a day. I mean, they're 12 minutes,
Right.
10 minutes, and 9 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll get on that.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, man.
Thanks for calling
Thank you
in.
so much once again, man. All the best.
Okay. Can you plug that laptop in with power? Yes, I forgot to plug in my laptop, everyone. All right, so we are going to take some questions from the chat here. All right. What is blood over intent? Is it safe? So, yes. So, in Living the Mystical Life Daily, the advanced heart meditation, you are programming the blood itself to remove negative signature frequencies, to use any form of the contract revocations, breaking of contracts, vows, and agreements with certain energies and concepts, so that you can have the fullness of your own expression. Okay. So another question. So from Marcella, I paint dragons and nagas with sacred geometry. How can I connect with the dragon so I can bring this sacred art to my work? Thank you for that question. That's a cool one. So, dragons are photonic beings of light that are sovereign aspects of a celestial being, not necessarily just this celestial being. Dragons are celestial beings from many different worlds. Some dragons come from suns, some dragons come from the central sun, so on and so forth. It is understanding the scale and size at which you want to work. Why is your connection to them there? That is why you're drawing them. And that is the next process for you to engage. Why do I draw dragons? Okay. Why do you choose to draw dragons? Each time you're drawing a dragon, I would like you to try this as an experience. Each time you're drawing a dragon, ask why. Ask why. And the more you ask why, if you find yourself getting more detailed, this is where you'll have your answer. There's a form of creativity within it. And you need the creativity that the dragons are providing. Now, when you use things from the Living the Mystical Life Daily, equal co-creation, non-competition, non-hierarchical order, non-dreaming, standing light-bodied DNA Dreamtime Nation of One as an encoded frequency, higher frequency beings such as dragons get a different set of rules to work with you, especially if you're able to draw them. That is why so many people love dragons, draw dragons, have them lifetime after lifetime, because they're waiting for us to raise our frequency, vibration, and ability to see, heal, feel, and understand them and empath them without us giving their power away to them. That is why dragons are in your life, for you to learn how to not give power away to them, but to give creativity to them, interaction to them, so that a new frequency can be coming. Okay? All right, let's take our next phone call.
Next caller will be from the Washington area, Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon, are you there?
Yes.
Your
oh my gosh.
Hello.
Oh my
What's
gosh, I'm so excited.
Hey, what is your name?
I'm Sunshine Jenny.
Hello. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm driving, so if I did get disconnected, that's why.
Okay. Well.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm coming to your conference.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So, what questions do you want to ask?
And I just signed up for the course, so I'm working on that. I have a story, a share, and a blessing.
Okay.
So I wanted to say that I appreciate your teaching about using our voice to just using our voice, period, and saying things out loud. When the person is feeling invisible, which I had it in the past, but I'm not now, but then you feel like, you can't talk, like nobody would listen to you or you can't talk. So now it's like, okay, I understand the power of your voice by your system with the name to claim. So I just wanted to share that I can see spirits in the trees. I can see. Lived in Sedona for a while. I could see the ancient ones in the rocks, and I can see dragons in the clouds. And I'm connected to the earth that way. And my story is that when I was going through in Washington, but near an Indian reservation, on an Indian reservation, driving, that I got gifted with a language, and I've never shared it out loud with anybody. So I guess I'm called to actually speak that language with you.
Mahogi yaka shimoki kayeta koni chamo maya shinkana tachukonao.
Hana ati ana haka moshu tai na hopa ani tumokun sitai na yata alaha. Akana sotoya na hai.
Namba yina gaya huti yataka chi nawa moka.
Osana hati amu kuno sotea la hania kuno sotaya aya lono aya kuno.
Do you know what you're saying?
No.
Okay.
No.
What I gave you was a light frequency greeting from every world that I was existing in simultaneously. And what you were saying back to me is what worlds you were not simultaneously existing in because you're not aware of them, but what worlds you had come from. And that is what you were doing was called a greeting, saying, this is my lineage of where I'm coming from. These are the soul families that I've worked with, and these are the soul families I no longer work with. And it was a heraldry process of introduction of soul family frequencies, because there's soul codes that are being exchanged in these light body conversations that have become manifested in this form of light language. I would encourage you to practice it. Practice it and record it, because I would bet it's a 30 to 50 minute speak out of heraldry for you to get the fullness of your lineage. And you actually manifesting in that world and in this world is a big deal for you. It's like metaphorically writing, your college, your doctoral paper, but you're just doing it through words that are coming through your knowingness now. But you don't know what the word means, but once it's complete, it's like this college term paper. And it's important for you to finish that. And I'm betting it's, like I said, it's about 40 to 50 minutes of full on doing that. You can take breaks and stuff, but at the end, it'll be recorded about 40 to 50 minutes. And I would then go back and listen to it, and you will then begin to understand what the actual lineage words mean. And it'll be its own alphabet that encodes you and teaches you how to function in that light language. Because what you were using was called Rachania. It's a form of light language where planets in another section of our universe who are on another arm of another galaxy use that dialect of light language as its heraldry process. And when you transversed the multiverse and came to this galaxy, which is way far away from where you're normally at, you needed this heraldry process to be introduced to the celestial frequencies that were welcoming you as an ancient ancestor from another celestial being.
Okay, and I will. I have started recording since you said the name to claim it. Then I started recording it. But I have a question. Is it related to, what do you know of Angel Star? I know one of my heritage is Angel Star, way out, way far away in the galaxy.
A lot of times when people come up with a name, most of the time it only means something to you, because your mind needed something to create with it. Because angel stars, that's a real thing, aren't stars. We are the angel stars. And we come to planets to be a star on a planet for a person.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
I was so excited about the language, and I appreciate that you are giving me some understanding about it.
Yeah.
And I know it has something to do with healing arts and I'm also an artist and a teacher, so I want to integrate it all.
I would say that once you Once you get the dialect down, which is some of the more aspects of it which are flow, you'll understand that some of it is a code for artwork itself. Like once you get the code, you're going to start getting images that your art mind's going to have to figure out, can I translate this to clay? Can I translate this to acrylic? Or do I need to make something up completely different for it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm a mosaic artist and a fabric and mosaic artist right now. So yeah, I would love to do that. I want to be able to imprint the healing arts into the art itself, so when people look at it, I realize there's an energy transfer for healing in that artwork.
Yes.
Itself.
I would highly recommend that you go out and purchase some tuning forks and begin to use them on yourself. You tap the tuning fork, put it on a different part of your body. Your body is in very much need of frequency right now.
Yes.
Okay? And it's really important that you do some form of basic deep tissue massage. Now, you'll hear this from a lot of callers because everyone needs it. You are in particular need where I will even say you can't ignore it anymore, or you're going to find yourself hobbled at some times.
Yes, I am scheduled for a massage for my birthday. I am calling out for that. Yeah, I do need that. In the frequency healing with the tuning fork,
Yes.
it will frequency heal your cells through your body.
Yes.
Releasing? Is it mostly a lot of releasing?
No, you have other things beyond them. You just need to start adding frequency to your body.
Okay.
It's like adding extra packs of energy. You burn through frequency too fast.
I need more energy. I mean, I'm high energy, I'm high vibration, but I need to keep it going, like keep going, the batteries going, so I don't get tired out.
Yeah.
Is that more like it?
Yeah. You need frequency, and then it's really important that you look at your diet and be brutally honest with it. Are you actually drinking 60 ounces of water a day?
I'm drinking a lot of water. I really am. Not 60 ounces, I don't think.
How much?
But I'd say 4 full glasses, 4 8-ounce glasses.
So less than roughly half of what you're supposed to be drinking.
Yeah, but
it's
I
because
am going near water.
Your pH is off.
Near water.
Your pH of your whole water is off. So each morning you wake up. So I want you to take like a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of baking powder or baking soda. I'm sorry. I get the two mixed up. Baking soda and lemon juice, and make that the first thing you drink before you have any coffee any morning. Make it a big cup of water, and after a while you may want to add more and more and more. This will help neutralize some of your acidity.
Okay, that sounds good. I've added lemon juice, but I didn't know about the baking soda.
Yeah, no, it's just a little bit of water. You know, the baking soda and the lemon. It'll really, really help balance you, and this will help for anyone else that's out there. And then begin, pH testing your urine. It's important that you know what you're releasing, what the pH of what you're releasing is. Then you're knowing if you're actually changing, because the reason you're at 30 ounces of water a day is because your body itself, as I would say, is 2 quarts low on the total volume of water. So let's say if you were to break an arm and they were to take you to the hospital and they did blood work on you, they would give you at least 2 packs of saline before they let you go.
Okay, very interesting. Yes.
That is how low your actual blood count is on water, and you can't drink any more water because your body's not accepting it.
Yeah, I get flooded. My stomach is like I'm thirsty, but my stomach's flooded with water already.
Right.
So
that is also hypertension. So you have
feels like it's sloshing.
That's
sloshing around in my stomach.
That is also hypertension.
Okay.
So do you regularly test your blood pressure?
I do. I have really low blood pressure. It's like 110/70.
So what it is you're having moments where your blood pressure goes very high for a couple hours, then it goes back down to normal.
Okay.
Okay, what is what's called cyclical adrenal release. Now, cyclical adrenal release is generally related to some form of previous post-traumatic stress syndrome that
Yeah,
created an
that was,
anxiety that kept the body cyclically producing adrenal glands, which is suddenly head turns left, turns right, look up, look down, perceive, precognition, nothing in my warning, all right, let down. So
right. That would
whatever,
be from my childhood. Yes.
you need to begin to understand that that is a long-term program and that you should use the heart meditation as well as the very first teaching about the peacekeepers and the peacemakers and go back to those childhood memories of trauma and project at it through emanation the peacekeeper and peacemaker and encapsulate it in a dream world. That's the first.
I really relate to the peacemaker and peacekeeper when you said that. I really related to
Right.
that. It resonated with me. Yeah.
Each
I
of
love
us,
that.
each of us can be our own peacekeepers and peacemakers in our own frequency. And it's understanding our personal responsibility to use it, be aware of it, so that spiritual hygiene means something to us.
Yeah.
Okay?
And okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I look forward to meeting you in person.
And I look forward to meeting you in person too. Thanks a lot for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, so I have a question from the chat room here. Uno minuto. So here's one from Alana. Can you please explain the spiritual courts of equity? So a court of equity, in layman's terms, in our modern terminology, is when a person who comes through the maxims of equity, meaning there are certain rules of logic, you come with clean hands, an authentic story with testimony, stating that another person has wronged you in such a way that what you are asking for is the ability to create an injunction on that person from doing it to anyone else until they have brought you back to whole. Now, the court of equity is a neutral process in which can split resources down the middle or use the power of injunction to stop something from doing something to another person, place, thing, entity. When you translate to spiritual court of equity, this is how we get an audit of contracts, service and light. This is how we break and sever contracts. Who is in the court of equity? The ancestors that you summon. This is why many of their prayers go, I, in this ever-present moment of now, call upon the ancestors of my 21 previous generations or my 7 previous generations, the ancestors of the north, the south, the east, and the west, the star brothers and sisters, the creepy crawlers, the 2-legged, the 4-legged, the 8-legged, the birds, the bees, the ducks, and the dinosaurs, all a part of this great mystery that's in creation, that are soul family relation to me, to come and be sacred neutral witness in this spiritual court of equity as I begin my testimony of process on which I want to separate because something, some place, some concept, some frequency of time is causing a distortion within me. That is the nature of the spiritual court of equity. And each time we engage it, it is the ever-present moment of now. So there can be thousands of spiritual courts of equity resolving different concepts. There are certain revocations that bring all of our spiritual courts of equity under our awareness of now, so that we can create even greater networks of resolving and stopping exchanges of karma. So when using a spiritual court of equity, you have to understand that you are not intentionally instant gratifying trapping beings in it. But at times we feel like we are. In a spiritual court of equity, we're using the injunction power, stopping a being from being able to do that to you because you have now given your ancestors instructions through this court of equity saying, I want no energy exchange between me, this soul family and mine. They have proven to be untrustworthy. I am not dealing with beings that are in karmic resolution within XX or X industry. I am not working with beings who are in charge and polarity, who are zealots and martyrs. Here is the signature frequency match that I am. Please bring them to me. You have given rules, borders, policies, and procedures through the spiritual court of equity with this injunction power of your sovereign free will that is not abusing your tacit consent. Very good. That's a good one there. So, just a second. Each human being out there must take a pause before our eclipse is coming. Now, I wasn't really going to talk about the eclipse during this webcast, but I see a lot of questions in there, and I know that it's going to be coming up every webcast from now until the thing. So, let go of conspiracy. Let go of what the news is saying. They're all lying to you. Okay? It's not about what you think, it's about what you believe. And if you turn off the global infrastructure of distraction and analyze what it is you think versus what you actually value and believe, you'll understand that all this projection about the solar eclipse, you would have thought nothing about if it wasn't projected at you. If it wasn't in your social media, if it wasn't being blared at you from the news, if it wasn't for people going, eclipse coming, Lion Gate, meh, 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 meh. It's in your frequency. Now change your perception of it. Balance of light and dark, in which our sun is being blocked out by the moon. That houses this freaking mythos and conspiracy behind it. If you say no to those energies and you engage the Union and Communion Consciousness Strike, which is available on the website, andrewbartzis.com, under the Insights tab, and if you are part of the online course, you have another 9 pages to it. It is a 19-page marathon of a consciousness strike that has all the teachings from Living the Mystical Life Daily as an out loud name it to claim it system saying no to forced evolution. Is this eclipse a forced evolutionary eclipse? If that's what you believe, then that's what it will be for you. I don't believe in that. I believe in the unlimited point of view where I have full manifestation and control over my process, and we'll see that the sun with the moon in front of it will be the eye of the universe looking at us. That is my belief. And no matter what technology is or is not on that moon, or is not on this planet, or is not emanating between us, it matters not what anyone else says. It is about my belief, and that eye is looking at us. That is the window to the soul of the great mystery. And that is what I will be looking for weeks before this eclipse and months after this eclipse. For in person, emblazoned in my mind, will be that eclipse energy, reminding me of this signature frequency of time. I will be doing a members special show that day. So for those of you who are members, you will be getting a more advanced teaching of how to see the eye of the universe, how to deal with the eye of the universe. For those that went to last year's live course, I talked about the eye of the universe. And we are now beginning to see it, feel it, hear it, taste it, touch it, know it, and pet it like a cat if we want to. That's right, pet it like a cat. The eye of the universe, the window into great mystery, is waiting for you to engage it. To do what? Find peace. That's why I created the Union and Communion Consciousness Strike and integrated it into the course. Peace is a legacy for everyone. You just have to make it your legacy, your choice to learn. In this era of light, blending whatever works in the moment as the a la carte system. Every day is your opportunity, and the power of choice is your legacy to yourself, and your awareness can be syncopated with your presence if you choose. The blueprint of Living the Mystical Life Daily online course allows a simplification so you don't have to reinvent the wheel over and over and over again, because it's how you perceive your reality. And the way that this course is written as the out loud name it to claim it system, it is a reality perspective challenge. So inner discernment determines point of perspective. And then the point of perspective goes up in scale and size in which you think. For if you are stuck in mediocrity in this world, how could you possibly perceive the mediocrity of other worlds? They are so frequency different than you. And when we get out of mediocrity of this world and other worlds and conspiracy, and we allow what's called the unlimited point of view, And what is the unlimited point of view? You actively looking and discerning your limitations and removing them. So the unlimited point of view is a signature frequency match for you. You may not have it all, but at least you are on the path to it, knowing that there are limitations that you may bump into, stub your toe on, fall in a pothole. Okay? All of those things happen out there. We must learn to use our precognition before expectation. So many people fall victim. They think that their expectation is precognition, and they limit their reality so much they can't do anything else. Okay? This system has worked for me and thousands of people that have been coming to me for my private sessions over 20 years. They were transformed in mind, body, spirit. So the next 45 minutes, we're going to be talking about the 3 secrets of the self-illuminated master and the 3 paths to the heart. They are one and the same. The self-illuminated master is a being who will master self-illumination. Did I just create a double negative by being self-illumination and the master within itself? No, I opened a signature frequency for you to understand self-illumination begins with mastership of the self. Without understanding mastership of the self, you will discover that expectations will be your limitations. And that no matter how far into esoterica you go, you'll be in the mind and not heart-spaced awareness. Okay? Our perception of this world is that we live in a duality. Actually, we don't. We are the singularity, but our perception of time and awake and asleep leave us this form of duality. When in reality, you have 2 versions of yourself that are a singularity, but our perception sees duality because we've been imprinted that this world is the real world, and that is the hallucination, the dream world. Well, I know it isn't, for we have all had dreams and visitations and deja vus that have given us over and over again confirmation and affirmation that we don't live in a duality, that we are a singularity, and we're all desperately trying to figure it out. That's why there's spiritual teachers and gurus worldwide. I'm here to present the out loud, name it to claim it, self-illumination system as a blueprint that will require your sacred discipline to get the engine of your spiritual locomotion moving. The 3rd secret, the 3rd path, it's not about what you think. It's about what you believe. Whether you believe in rocks can fly or you don't, or a flat earth, it's truly about what you believe in. And this is where theory confuses so many people. Theory is not belief. But subtly our placebo is lured out with the chocolate cake of theory, and we begin to empower it, and we've given our power away instead of emanating our power as the fullness of the self-illuminated master. Are you making the connections? A plus B equals C. It's not about what you think, it's about what you believe. It's not a world of duality. It's ultimately what you as the common being choosing expectation or precognition at the sacred discipline level. Now let's go a little more in depth. Expectations create that limitations, and you don't even realize you're creating them. How does one control or change or deprogram expectations? First thing, it's generally instant gratification are behind expectations. What is instant gratification? I'm reaching for my cup of iced tea. Is this instant gratification? Actually, it isn't. It's feeding and nourishing myself. If I were on this live show and I said, all right, I need to go and buy a new iPhone, that's instant gratification. Because I'm still engaged with you, and yet I had to follow through and do something. How many people do you see who are talking to you in a conversation and fiddling with their computer and passing emails and dual and multitasking and not actually talking to you? That's a tough one, because a lot of people begin to see they're really not paying attention to you. They're really not listening a word you're saying. You could say rabbits have flown out of your ass, and as they were sending pressed yes to their emails, they wouldn't even know you said rabbits flew out of your ass. Okay? People cannot multitask, and that is instant gratification. Most multitaskers, you guys are going to say, I can do it. Bullshit. You are instant gratifying yourself and not engaging the sacred discipline. Allow the fullness of your experience while a person was talking to you. You would do it out of respect to your own personality to engage that person. Or ask them, give me 1 minute so I can do this task to fully pay attention to you. Here we're going to some of the harsh parts of instant gratification. The other part is instant gratification. I have just paid this money. Where's my fucking enlightenment? Guess what? You ain't going to get any enlightenment without sacred discipline, without self-action, without action turning knowledge into wisdom. If you expect a single YouTube video to give you illumination and a snap of a finger, that's instant gratification, as well as ego and a shadow telling you you can do it now and multitask and learn all this other stuff. People have been trying to learn esoteric practices since the dawn of time. Okay? Long before there was internet, spending hundreds of hours at it. And you think you can do it over a weekend. Okay? That's instant gratification. You have to see the habit patterns of instant gratification and how our expectations are linked to them. Okay? Now, let me tell you a story about dating. Okay? Wanting to get a date, hitting on a girl. Is that instant gratification? Is that expectation? Oh, well, she'll never say no. I have so many dating stories from people that have come to me and encountered true love synchronicities. But for the essence of this message here, I want you to think about your first date. What it took for that person to ask you out, or what it took for you to ask that person out. What expectations did the two of you had? And what was the finality of the story? Was there precognition there? Was there deja vu there? 99.999% of them is no. It's just a moment in which something occurred that the I am agenda-driven being said I'm going to have as an experience. This is how we come in and out of bubbles of reality. I'm here to have experience. I am using my conscious application of the sacred, saying instrument of experience, body. We are taking down our expectations, and we're engaging natural co-creative precognition through our intuition and knowingness. We are not predator-prey scanning an environment. We are authentically ourselves. Take that concept in. Apply that to your dating stories, past, present, and future. Okay? This system works for all kinds of people, for it is the out loud, name it to claim it system. One of my friends, Joseph, who thought he could never have a career as a healer, he now earns a living as that. But it took him a leap of faith, and he was tired of living his mystical life daily and not finding it monthly, weekly, or yearly. And this was his major mistake. It wasn't daily, it was monthly. And it took him a process to see that he was living a month or 2 months in the future because that's the way his slave job had trained him. 2, 3, 4 paychecks into the future. That's how far I can live. Living the mystical life daily is letting go of everything every day. So for that 5 minutes, your sacred disciplines engage, or that 19 minutes, your sacred disciplines engage. Everything that's trying to create your future has no power in that moment. You have enough discipline to make that moment sacred. Those are the most basic processes of this name it to claim it system. Do I got enough energy to read a page and a half out loud as my own process to create my own alchemy for my own self without any dogmas or other esoteric systems guiding it to some other form of external illumination? Living the mystical life daily is a process, and it happens. Okay? And for Joseph, he finally discovered why he couldn't live the life as the healer that he wanted, because he wouldn't book his own stuff. He kept giving away his power to an automated system that kept failing over and over again, until he finally said, I got to hire a human being to act as that medium. And guess what? He's got clients out the yazoo now. He figured out that his biggest thing was scheduling and marketing of himself. He was afraid to put his sacred words into marketing words. Now I'm going to have a sacred marketing word moment with you. This out loud, name it to claim it system is being for sale as an online course, a 6-week online course with the Alchemy series as a bonus, the Equinox and Solstice series as a bonus. And you'll be able to get 2 free tickets to come to the live event. That's October 5th, the 8th, this year, all for $9.97. And we have a full 30-day money-back guarantee. What other systems are doing that? What other ones are empowering you with all the free stuff? All this material here in a 6-week course and the 2 tickets to come to the event. This is how much I believe in the system. This is how much I know it works, because I've had thousands and thousands of people who have privately came to me and paid $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000 for me to individually tutor this system to them. Separate of publicity. They needed to know it for their own life, for their own individual journeys. So we're going to take another call.
Okay, next caller is from the Big Rapids, Michigan area.
Big Rapid, Michigan. Are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. What is your name? And what is your name?
Carrie.
Hey, Carrie. How you doing today?
Just really excited that I'm on the phone with you.
You made it through the wheel of callers. So what questions do you want to ask?
I guess a little bit about my galactic history and, what's going on right now, and just some guidance.
Have you been able to use any of the teachings that we've given out with the course?
I have, not a lot.
Okay.
I started listening to you a number of months ago, maybe a year ago, and then I've been busy working and but I've learned a lot today.
Okay. So have you actually been able to engage the heart meditation?
I have not.
Not?
That was a new one to me today.
That was a new one to you. Have you used any of the other revocations?
I have. I've done the revocations before. I did all of them that are on your website.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And
So
I probably need to do them again.
yeah, it would be a good idea for you to try to do one a day. Okay?
Okay.
Why one a day? Because you got to try. It doesn't matter if it's a
Absolutely.
weight loss system or wanting to go and do college education. You still got to give it to yourself. All right, so what year were you born?
1961.
Just a second, let me tune into you. So you've got some medical issues before I have to kind of adjust and help you understand before really galactic history is going to make any sense to you. You are having major pancreas issues, major liver issues, and you really can't ignore it anymore.
Okay.
Have you been to the doctor recently?
Yes, I have.
And-
I've gone to a naturopath. He's an MD, who's a cardiologist who studied with Andrew Weil in the Integrative Medicine Institute, and I've started a program with him.
I think
Just
it's
started it.
really important that you get some blood work done with him and have him look at your pancreas and your liver. I think you
Okay.
are in a spiritual healing crisis right now. I think
Okay.
this Lion's Gate has stirred up some ancient karma for you.
Okay.
And it's time for it to come up like a pimple on the face, the day of their debutante ball.
Yes.
Okay? But, it's okay. A little bit of antibiotic will take care of it, and don't pop it. Okay? It's important that you have this blood work done, speak to your doctor, ask him to do the fullness of the blood work to discover what's there, and then you need to go and get cranial sacral therapy, full-on myofascial release of the occiputs, the orbits of your eyes, the sphenoid bone, the teeth, and the inner oral work in your mouth. Your plates and roof of your mouth are so bound up that you are literally restricted from having a third eye access right now because there's a membrane that's stuck under your sphenoid bone that's not releasing the rods and cones to have your third eye rods and cones and opening.
Okay.
And this is
And
from,
craniosacral therapy will help with that?
well, it'll remove those blockages, and it's going to show you
Okay.
that you've had almost a blinders on you on certain scenarios. Did you go
Okay.
through some abuse when you were a kid, verbal abuse?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's really bad in your frequency and you can't ignore it anymore. And it's time for you to heal it. Heal it so much with self-healing and self-nurturing that you can use this cranial sacral process so that you can remove the trauma, because literally your whole head is bound up in the back of your masseter and your occiputs, that it's restricting your cranial pulse flow and pulse and fluid flow up and down your spinal column. And just below your solar plexus chakra, your solar chakra, you aren't really exchanging high volumes of spiritual energy. So you're actually disconnected from the lower body.
Yeah, I feel that.
Are you having lower leg pains going on too?
No, my knees.
What about legs moving in the middle of the night, like restless legs?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
You are. And after you have your first full cranial sacral treatment, you're going to realize how tight your body really is.
Okay.
And it's going to be your own personal revelation. And I'm going to say you ain't going to fix this in 1, 2, or 3 cranial sacral sessions. You're going to, because you can only do so much oral work before the body says a little too much. So you're going to need 3 to 4, and I would advise you to do them twice a week, like a Monday and a Friday, or a few days apart. You know, try to get 4 sessions, you know, in a span of 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay? Now,
Yeah, I really want to heal.
you really want to heal. Now, the next thing is you have a desire to expand and explore, but I have to tell you, sometimes curiosity kills the cat. There are things you cannot unsee in the spiritual world as an awareness. Not that your galactic history is going to be something that you can't unsee. It's just a knowingness that you have a curiosity amongst you. And what your galactic history is going to say is you were a curious cat who got killed off many times. And as a soul,
Probably right.
right, as a soul, you have all these experiences you couldn't unsee, which is the destruction of our world, the creation of our world, wars of our world, great moments of love of our world. Everything is polar opposized and juxtaposed within your point of view as a higher frequency soul that has made you now, who is going through this early life abuse process, to juxtapose through your teenage and adult years until finally where you're at now, cyclically on the 2 opposite sides, cycling through awareness, unable to find your inner balance.
Yeah.
Okay? And that is what your galactic history reveals. The great times of light, the great times of darkness. This is where you were an angel being, another one like, you know what? I'm quitting the angel union and I'm going to work for the other team. Okay? We've all done it. Forgive yourself. And understand that every being that comes here comes from their unique celestial perspective. Your unique celestial perspective that brought you here was what I call a 6th dimensional world. And its purpose was to house 3rd and 4th and 5th density world beings in their own sub-based realities in their subsurface or surface worlds that had special crystalline structures on them that where many different forms of density beings can interact, because this 6th density world was practicing the art of true, authentic, signature frequency, unconditional love between spirits who have manifested in many different densities, surface and subsurface, to try to create a perfection of offspring. This world is known as Anuhyata, and it's the world where you, if you've graduated to that higher level of love and knowingness, you know, you can enter this 6th dimensional world and begin to learn whole new aspects of the law of one and how to direct manifest children through the law of one. All right, darling, and if you want to have a private session, just go ahead and contact the website. All right? So we've got to move on to the next caller.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, darling. Have a great day.
You
Okay.
Okay, our next caller is from Houston, Texas area.
Houston, Texas. Your name?
Hello?
Hello. Your name from where you're calling from?
Andrew, I never expected to. Yes, my name is David. David B.
Hi, David. How
And
you doing today? You made it through the wheel of callers.
I did. I can't believe I did. Thank you. Thank you so much. I actually called once many years ago when the show wasn't even visual, it was just a picture and everything. And I released a lot from my neck and my umbilical cord, and the issue of past lives came up, and actually Debbie just said something about that in the live chat too. I just recently I had out of the blue this case of the shingles, and it just felt like I almost died, and then I started realizing that I'd been diagnosed with hepatitis C when I was 17 because that was I was taking heroin, and that was enough just a couple times, and all of that came back, and it's like I just woke up from a big haze. And when that happened, something just kind of led me to look at, and I've been watching since the Lions Gate, and I just want to say thank you also for the soul revocation on the 12th. I literally felt the wind move and everything, and that day was just so beautiful. Like after that, I didn't need to interact or call. I felt that it was amazing, and but Debbie just mentioned to me that there's an underlying belief, and it's why I can't create abundance, and it's why I've ruined everything. In that moment when I felt like I was almost dying from the shingles thing, which I'm only 31, I was born in 1986, which that's old to me now, but I had this image and this desire to start listening to George Carlin, which out of the blue, because I never watched comedy. It's just, it's always something I enjoy, but not even that. I never watched it. And then, Bill Hicks, and just out of the blue, and I thought maybe that was something, and I'd always wanted to take up writing, but it's just, then it started to, time went on, it just started to seem ridiculous, and I decided to go back to electricity, which is I went to school for, which was never my idea, never wanted to do it, and then just listening to some of the things you said, everything started to fall apart. My car crashed. I got sick, terribly sick. I've never been sick like this in my life. I thought I was dying, and I did have access to a healer. And then, Andrew, I've followed you this whole time. You've helped me the whole way. Sometimes I really feel like you're talking to me. And now I'm actually talking to you. And I'm doing exactly what I do want to do, is just talk about myself. I really do want to serve others, but I can't serve others, I guess, because I can't even, I'm just, what's wrong with me? Why am I here? I do have two beautiful children. I should just focus and be grateful on that. I never thought I would have that. I never. I thought I'd be dead at 27. I just, I've learned a great deal, and the discernment, and I understand that, and sent a message today about the troll energy and all of this beautiful things, and I just need to sit down and sift through it, but this constant overbearing, how am I going to support my family if I'm living in my aunt's house with my two kids and my wife?
So
slow down.
Slow down.
I'm sorry.
Now you are frenetic and showing your anxiety. The first thing you ought to understand is, why are you wearing that on your cuff?
Yeah.
Who is making you project and use up all your energy? Okay. So this is your first lesson to yourself. Stop projecting anything. That is you just giving away power and energy. And I understand you were excited about this call and all the stuff that's going. This is a habit pattern in you. You live in your aunt's house. Thank God you have a home for your kids. Thank her.
Yeah. Yeah,
Here's where
right.
humbleness can teach you a whole new lesson. Humbleness, and the process of being humble, saying, I have a home. Yes, I need a job. Yes, I still need to raise my children. And yes, I still need to have my own personal moment to myself where I can say, all right, this world is starting to get to me. What can I do to truly self-heal and self-nurture? Even if it says, all right, kids, you're watching TV for the next 2 hours. Here's dinner. I'm going to go in the bathtub and soak. Okay? You have to start giving yourself self-healing and self-nurturing time. And there are times you have to start clocking out. Say, Dad's off duty, Mom's on duty. Mom will be on, I will take Mom's duty over, so on and so forth, when she needs her off time.
Oh, yeah. I've been just doing the total opposite, and I realize that.
Okay? The next thing here is, if you keep worrying about the job, it'll never come. You got to manifest the job. So what I would like for you to do is to use have you gotten the heart meditation in the email sequence yet?
No, not that one. That specific one, that eluded me. But I can find it now.
Okay, yeah. So it's the first one that comes in the email sequence. Or you can just contact the website and they'll send you a link to it. So this is what you need to start practicing every day. It is a 14-minute meditation. And all the people that have come to me in the same frenetic anxiety state, this is what I do to them. I give to them. And then they do the shaman's death so they can let go of anxiety. You have worked yourself so much, you are currently in a form of heavy hypertension. You're raising your heart rate. You have to start lowering that so that you can be present with a potent personality and a potent energy field and not a weak electromagnetic field that's running you right now. The car crash was because of a weak electromagnetic field in which somebody else's electromagnetic field crashed into yours. Literally. That's how car accidents happen. They're all spiritually contracted through weakness points within our electromagnetic fields. That's my point of view. Okay? Now the next
I took that with me from a long time ago when you said that. I've always kept that with me, and I just needed to I didn't trust myself enough. I needed to hear you remind me.
Yeah. So the next thing for you to do here is you have to figure out how to make manifestation, and that is ultimately prayers. And I want you to see this heart meditation as prayers to yourself, healing for yourself. When you get the shaman's death, prayers for you. This is a prayer for yourself, healing for yourself. When you get the sanctuary of souls, it is prayers for yourself, healing for yourself. You have to begin to engage sacred moments in which the sacred discipline takes over and anxiety cannot rule you anymore. Freneticness cannot rule you anymore. I would also advise you to go and use the ones on the website, the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, Government, Banking, and Media, as well as the Consciousness Strike. You have if you're not working at all, the times that you're not working.
No, and I was making decent money for the first time, and it almost felt like it was something just, what is it trying to tell me? Should I not be in electricity, because it should be free? Honestly, it really should. I never really liked that anyway. I just needed something to make money, because I was just such into that mindset, which is so contrarian to everything that I've learned from you. But you're right.
But you still need a job.
I do, yes. Yeah, I do.
Then go back into electricity, damn it, and get some money under your belt.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a suck it up buttercup moment for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah, yep, okay.
All right, man, I've got to move on to the next call. Thank you so much. Actually, no, we're not going to take another call. We take a question from the chat room here. All right, those are all personal questions. All right, we're just going to keep moving on here. So I want to thank everybody that's on the Facebook side of during this our live broadcast, everyone that's in the members area, everyone that's on the YouTube side. Remind everyone this has been the Living the Mystical Life Daily Webcast. This coming Saturday is a call-in reading show. This show is for Living the Mystical Life Daily to promote people using it, people sharing their experiences on the different meditation teachings that are out there or what they've experienced in the course. So, my speech process here, I got a little broken up. Everyone here has had dreams, that have revealed something to them that reminded us that this is not a world of duality. It's a singularity. That we are so, oh my God, that flying dream I had when I was 2 or 9 years old, I will never forget. And you're trying to get back to it over and over again. So many of you have had deja vus that you talk about over and over again. Everyone who's watched sports regularly has seen a sportscaster going, he's never missed a free throw in 7 years, and the guy misses a free throw. Or brand new rookie at bat, never been at bat, and he hits a home run. So on and so forth. Those are mystical manifestations that have our presence, process, and potency behind it. Now that you understand the concept of what non-duality is, you must understand equal co-creation, non-competition, non-hierarchical order are the next form of emanation as the name it to claim it system. All throughout the system, you will be seeing equal co-creation, non-competition, non-hierarchical order. I am dreaming being, light body DNA standing, light body DNA standing nation of one, in union and communion with Prime Creator, using the union and communion consciousness strike to deny all services in all dimensions, time stream, galaxies, and universes to those that are forced evolution, posing as natural, organic, co-creative evolution, because it is about the awareness of time and space, and that the perceptions of time and space. In this out loud name it to claim it system, you are allowing our perception in this manifestation to make a manifestation in this and many other forms of time and space. This is how it is a name it to claim it system. Ponder that. I know that was a lot of you to take in, but this is what I do. I challenge you with word phrase orders for you to understand that I am functioning at my high genius, like I had with the first caller. I am in my spiritual fast lane and simultaneously in the 35-mile-an-hour lane when you guys are going 25 miles an hour. Okay? I've had clients that were CEOs and major CEOs in top Fortune 500 companies that have come to me because they wanted to get pregnant. They're 46, 47 years old, and they've gone through all the fertility drugs. And guess what? They had to discover the out loud name it to claim it system to stop sexual projections on them. Okay? One of the CEOs, her name is Stephanie, a Fortune 500 company, came to me wanting to have children. Gone through all the in vitro, couldn't do it. Multiple failed pregnancies. Until she discovered the ceremony, the out loud name it to claim it system, and the process she was able to do gave her a comparison and contrast. And the service and light, she discovered that her service and light to business wasn't the same value of the service to light she had given herself to bring children in. And once she was able to understand that, she saw dual competition within herself. Think of that. If we are equal co-creation, non-competition, non-hierarchical, or I am dreaming breakaway DNA civilizations of one, how can you have dual competitive processes? It is because her limitation of this world had so many expectations that were theories that were confused as placebo truth. And once she eliminated the dual competition, she could let go of the corporate world, still own her business, not give it away, and begin to raise her children in a sacred method, through a sacred bonding with a human being that wasn't in vitro fertilization. Through the same system that's available to you today to purchase when you click on the button below. Okay? She had her choices and began believing in the process, and she began to not struggle with what was going on with her. Okay? Now you're probably thinking, placebo belief truth system? That's right. It is that simple. Everyone, what they believe in now is real, is true for them. The key to understanding if it's really empowered or not. Is it a theory? Is it a thought? Or is it our expectations confusing theory as belief? True placebo, the reason they do double-blind studies is to stop our thoughts from creating something that can alter our blood chemistry. Guess what? You can create your blood chemistry, can change your blood chemistry. People change their blood type all the time. Hospitals don't want you to know that because they have a whole industry that services you and your blood types. We are creating manifesting beings. accept it. Concepts are not enough. You must believe and then act. We are connected to the universal wisdom. Okay? What is that universal wisdom? I seem to have lost my speech program here. Robert, let's take a phone call.
Okay, next caller is.
Yep, sorry. There was just a gigantic space. Go ahead and take the caller, yes.
Okay, it'd be Sonia from England.
Sonia from England, are you there? Sonia from England, are you there? Nope. All right, let me just finish going on. I'll do another one. Prayer is a process of finding strength, wisdom, and knowingness from the internal, eternal being you know you are. Many know we are more than we've heard, read, or studied. Prayer is a very similar concept, for we know ourselves at our fullest layers when we choose to gauge ourselves in our full sacred genius. Prayer is a way to make higher frequency friendships with the universal source working through all of us. Prayer doesn't require a religion or an esoteric practice or system. Prayer can be no words or thousands of words. Prayer is a form of gratitude and love expressed from the divine co-creative will of the self, manifesting a life walk that has unknown and known choices ahead of it. Prayer assists you at making the unknown known by showing us how to get rid of fear or any other process that limits our ability to believe in ourselves. Prayer is finding the integrity of heart space truth, emanating unconditional love as the expression of vibratory words. And that is the essence of the out loud name it to claim it system. You are the living prayer. You are the living algorithm of your expression. You are not the duality. You are not the hierarchy. You are not the frequency that is saying competition. For once you choose the signature frequency matching of yourself through your own self-empowered prayers, expectations fall away, experiences come forward, and you're able to understand how to use the process of awareness to begin the process of opening yourself, meaning you are going deep into your own self with introspection, retrospection, hindsight, and foresight, and saying, I need to have a